This is a story about some goats. And I know that's really hard for some people to understand. Potential babies, swelling or lump under his neck. Hey y'all, Amy here and welcome back to the farm. I am out here in this area that I was telling y'all about on my last video, where I was going to be having 5 new animals. And as you can see, they're here. Okay, y'all, this is a story about some goats that have had some struggles. But first, before I go through their story, let me introduce them to y'all. This one here is Jenny. She's sweetheart. This one here, hay on his face, this big boy right here. Come here. This is JJ. This one right here, this pretty red girl, her name is Ginger. In the back, let's go over there. Back here, let's see, put them here. This black one here is Diamond, and this little fella here is Kimbo. What are you doing, Jenny? What are you doing? She just had her face straight up in the air with her lips open. Okay, look, that one's Ginger. Isn't she pretty? Ginger. Okay, let's tell the story. I have a friend named Kenzie, and in October of last year, her and her husband and their children decided to get some goats. They bought a small herd of 9 goats. They brought them onto their farm. Unfortunately, they started getting sick and they started dying. Now, Kenzie and her husband researched, they asked questions, they went to everybody, they did all that they could for these goats, and they still continued to die. There was 9 to start with. As you can see, there's 5 now. Y'all, as time passed, they just seemed to get reinfected and reinfected. I know, dear, with parasites and worms, and they were anemic, and they were dropping weight, and Kenzie was doing everything right. And eventually, it got to the point where it was like, they have to be getting something from there, from where they were at. She's resting her chin on my shoulder. Oh, Jenny. Hey, mama. Hey, mama. She's had babies before. She had a, when my friend got this herd, Jenny here had her baby, which her name was Baby. And she was the most recent one to pass. Yeah. So, they did everything they could, and it just, that was your bucket of water, ma'am. Ginger, now I gotta go fill that whole thing again. Merciful heavens. Okay. They just kept getting reinfected somehow, and they just kept getting sick. Like, they'd go a time that they were getting better, and then they'd get sick and she'd lose another one, and there was just so many issues, and she was trying as hard as she could. And I feel so bad for them, I really do, because at the end of the day, it was the land. They had lived there for a year and a half, and they had this pasture out back. It was a wooded area, so there wasn't like grazing land, it was dirt, which they had plenty of hay and feed and everything that they needed, but as you know, dirt, the ground, the soil will hold parasite eggs and worms for years. And come here, honey, back up a little. You're right in the camera. And that's, at the end of the day, that was the only explanation, is it had to be coming from the ground. And then found out that the previous owner did indeed have numerous animals on this property. And then her words were a graveyard. It was a pet graveyard, I believe, the field where they were on. So who knows why all these animals had died and then got buried there, what all they had. It was a lot. Yes, it was. So when you don't have any space to rotate, and when you know that it's the soil itself that is, you know, killing your animals, and you've tried so hard and you've continued to lose them, at the end of the day, they decided that rehoming was the best thing for the goats. It was a very difficult decision, y'all. It would be for anybody, you know, when you've put your heart and soul into these animals and you're trying so hard and it's just not working out. You want to do what's best for the animals, which is rehoming them, but it's so, you know, emotionally difficult when you put so much into them. So these 5, JJ's at the camera now. JJ, you stinky buck. These 5 have come to live here, and I'm going to do my best to get them healthy. And as you can see, like, Kenzie did an awesome job for living in what they were having to live in, for these 5 to look as good as they do. The only one that is a potential risk for losing right now, stop that please, is Kimbo here. He's little and he's dropped a lot of weight. I saw some pictures of him when they first got him, and he was filled out and fluffy and healthy and looked awesome. So he's been struggling the most with the parasite worm infestation. He has been wormed with Prohibit. He has been wormed with ivermectin. He has been given, I mean, like I said, Kenzie and her husband did everything that they could. And so he's here now, and I am hoping and praying that the stress of moving wasn't too much on him, because he had to get off that ground. And so moving them here, when you move a goat, it's stressful for them. You can have what's called a bloom, a parasite bloom or worm bloom, like it just like explodes. And I had that issue one time. I had a goat that I brought here with he had coccidia, and it was just an explosion, and he didn't recover from that. Don't chew on me. But look at her. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. This is so funny. Anyway, he didn't recover from that. So, and it took a couple of days for him to really start going down once he got here. So obviously, having that happen in my past, when I first brought them here, I immediately started with precautions. They have been given probiotics in their food. One of my biggest concerns was they were going from woods with some underbrush and not pasture, which goats do fine with. But y'all, my friend Miriam told me, and I hadn't even looked this up, another thing I haven't told you yet either, is that these are Boer mixes. So a Boer, which is what Miriam told me, is more of a pasture goat. They graze more so than foragers like Nigerian dwarfs and things. So moving them onto the pasture would be very rich for their room and not something they're not used to. And so this is the only place that I had to put them, and so there wasn't like a barn I could close them into for now while they adjusted from the move. So they went from the move, of the stress of the move, also to rich pasture, and I was a little bit worried about that. So that's the reason for like the probiotics, electrolytes in their water. This guy here, he's getting things, some extra, can I help you, ma'am? Some extra things. His FAMACHA score is like pretty bad, so he's pretty anemic. And if you don't know FAMACHA, underneath their eye there's some tissue under there that indicates, the color will indicate the level of anemia that they have. And like white is bad, you want it to be red, and then there's all shades of pink in between. Jenny, mama, she's licking the sweat off my arms, is what she's doing. Anyway, he's the only one that is struggling pretty bad, and he's better than he was. Kenzie has been giving him all kinds of stuff that has helped. So he's had some extra things. I'm doing a power punch, chlorophyll. I'm gonna give him chloroform. Chlorophyll, molasses, things to boost his red blood cells. And obviously they have a bowl of minerals and baking soda that's gonna help with any bloating from this. And y'all, this is day 3 that they are here, and so far so good. Everybody's stools has been normal except for his. His is soft, but it's not diarrhea. So please don't, ouch, that one hurt. Don't bite me. Look at me. You're so funny. You're so funny. Your face is funny. Don't be offended. It's not a bad thing. It's okay to be funny. It's okay. We're gonna get a little more weight on this girl here. Boers have a dip in them. Not as stark as dairy, like the Lamacha or the Nubians, but they have a little bit of a dip here. So some of a dip is okay. That's how their hips hang, but she's needs a little bit extra weight on her. A little bit extra. So that is the story. 5 goats. I wouldn't call it a rescue. It's just a rehoming for the sake of the goats, you know. It is a attempt to keep any more from dying and to get them better again. And one day Kenzie's family might decide to do goats again. I think they're a little bit burnt out on goats right now. But I hope they try again. I do. And of course, they will be coming over and visiting them here. She's a friend of mine, so she can come over and her kids can come over and they can see them. And the babies. That was another thing. They got them in October of last year, and since then, none of the girls have had babies, and that should have happened. So that tells you that something was off in their health because they weren't getting pregnant. However, once she started on a more strict care for them and the dewormings and all the things like that, there is a potential that they are all now bred. It's possible. So this one right here, this one is Jenny, Mama. I can't quite tell on her. Her baby, I was telling you her baby, she lost. Her baby was 9 months to a year. I want to say she was not little. So her being pregnant again would be no issue at all. I don't know if she is, but she's been with a couple of bucks, so chances are good that she is. Over here, these other two. So now she's behind them. So this one here, this is Kimbo, he's the little buck, and then that one there, that's the big one, that's JJ, he's the bigger buck. This red one over here, that's a Ginger. She may be pregnant. Her belly is hanging like it's possible. If she is, it's pretty early still. We'll see. I'm gonna watch them for if they come into heat again, which obviously it's gonna be. I've seen many pregnant goats, and all the way up till birth goats, between mine and my friend Miriam's, and then different ones down the different friends that I have and different goats that I've seen of theirs. So I can pretty much have a good idea of if they're pregnant once they get farther along. The black one there, Diamond, me and Miriam are pretty sure that she's pregnant. She's got the bigger belly on her, and she is, I'm going to show you her face. I'm going to give you a close-up on her face in a minute. Her eyes are gorgeous. Can you see how her belly hangs like that? So I would imagine she's pregnant. I would imagine they all are. But we'll see. We will see. So they're going to be staying here for the foreseeable future. I had originally thought that I might get them back healthy and rehome a few of them. But y'all, here's the thing. Okay, hold on. I know that this is going to be not what some people can understand, but this is a farmstead, and the animals here serve a purpose. And you know, I did kunu pigs at one point, and those were for pork. And while I have never eaten goat before, these are a meat breed of goats, and offspring from these could be potential food for the family. And I know that's really hard for some people to understand. That's we have cows for some of the steers to get butchered. We have a farm here that produces food for our family, and I know that's hard for some people to think that, oh, you know, how could you do that? Well, that's their purpose, and when you go into it with that mindset, it's not hard. It's understood that that's their purpose. It's not hard for me at all, because I was raised this way. I was raised for the beginning of my memories. I was on a farm, and when you understood that, that's how it goes. So I understand that it would be hard for some people to think that, oh, you know, well, let's say that Diamond over there has a couple of kids and one of them's a buck, and I decide to band it and raise it for meat. That might be hard for some people to understand. But like, I know that, and I understand that. But when you think about it as that's their purpose, you don't get attached to those animals, and you see them as what they're for. But the point of meat goats is for meat. And my husband is a hunter, and he gets deer and he butchers all the stuff. And so the plan is for him to do that with goats. And I've never had goat before. I don't know what it tastes like, but I hear it's very much like venison. And if so, you know, being able to produce our own here on the farm would be beneficial. The children have no issues with, I shouldn't say no issues. They don't like it. Nobody likes it, okay? When there's an animal to be butchered, like for Brian, the hardest part is putting it down to do it. He absolutely hates taking the life of an animal. It's part of it. It's part of life. It's how we live. It's the world. But that no one likes that. No one finds that easy. And so obviously it's not going to be, we understand it, and it doesn't hurt us as much as it would hurt some people who don't understand it, but that doesn't mean it's easy, and that doesn't mean we enjoy it at any way you think about it. It's not. I'm falling over here, y'all. But it's a part of it. It's a part of this life. It's part of the way things are. And now the wind is going to pick up. The kids understand. They don't like it, but they understand, and they're okay with it. However, my original thought of bringing these to the farm and possibly rehoming a few of them went out the window once the kids saw them, because this one over here at my fingertip there, that's Jenny. Lacey quickly laid claim to that one. The little black one, Diamond, that one's mine. Ginger, the red one there, Abby was like, ooh, can I have that one? Please, can she be mine? And then these two boys, Levi, he loves the little one. He's like, oh, Cambo is going to be like another puppy dog. And that's fine. The large one, JJ, my thought was, he's large, he looks awesome, he's a meat goat. I could have him in addition to Tobias, Tobias is mostly Nubian with a little bit of Kiko. Kiko is also a meat goat. Nubian's the dairy. I could combine him with some of my Nubians and get a stockier meat goat if we decide to do that. So I was going to hang on to him, and then so now they're all claimed, and so now they all can't go anywhere. So pending survival, they're all going to stay. So this big guy here, some of you may be wondering, he seems to have like this swelling or lump under his neck, which makes people think, well, might make people think like bottle jaw or something from Barbara pole worms. But I have felt it and I've looked at him, and that is the start of his beard. It's curving backwards, and it makes an appearance like he's got a swollen up under his jaw. But it is not swollen. Just wanted to throw that out there. And you also may notice that they all have a little bit of a runny nose. It's all clear. It's not very much. And I think it's just the different environment that they're in. But again, I'll be watching that closely. Okay, I'm gonna walk back over here into the shade because it is hot this morning. But yeah. That's it, y'all. That is what I did. Did you guess right? Did you guess right? I left y'all hanging the last time. This is a little hoop house thing that we've put in here with a little shelter for them. I'm going to be getting one other, we have this huge cottonwood tree, okay? And it's gonna give them shade for the majority of the day. There's a little bit of time in the late afternoon when the sun sets back there that they don't have shade from this. They have the hoop house, but I feel like it's a little too hot because there's not good airflow. I wanted something that they could be in for like the afternoon storms and things there, where there would be no blowing wind up in there. I ordered a shade cloth that I'm going to be putting up out here. That'll come in tomorrow, and that way that's not their only shade in the late afternoon. Obviously they need something to get up on. They are goats. They don't like to be down on the ground all the time. So I'm gonna have to figure out something to put out here that will give them something to get up onto. And how long they're gonna be out here separated from everybody else depends on how well they do. I don't know at this point how long I'm gonna keep them separate. Hopefully, like, I am hoping and praying that they do fantastic, that they bounce right back from anything that they may have, that I can get the girls put with the girls and the guys put with the guys, open this gate back up later once they're all in the clear. They were wormed and the first time and then second time before, like a week, not even a week before they were brought here. So she was right there messing with the camera. So hopefully they don't have anything and they're just in recovery now. Diamond, hi baby. Diamond here has the folded ears, which is a trademark of the Boers. Come here, honey. Diamond, come here. Hi baby. Hi baby. How doing? How doing? See my finger? You're a pretty girl. She's a pretty girl. Alright, y'all. So that is that. Those are the 5 new animals that I have brought onto the farm. And if anybody out there has any suggestions or advice, anything that I can do as a prevention of anything, or as a, like, I will take any tips and advice y'all have. Yes, I've been doing this for a good little bit of time now, and yes, I have mentors, but you know what, there's always something that I may not have thought of, or there's always something that I could try. For instance, they're on a medicated feed, but here's little Kimbo, but I am giving them all the little extra things that I said. I also ordered a bag of pumpkin seeds because adding a few pumpkin seeds to their daily feed is going to help with their parasite worm resistance. And bananas. They are going to be getting bananas as treats. That's a little boost that they'll have. Bananas and apples. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. They're happy, y'all. They're happy. They like it. They're happy here. They are so calm and chill, and they just seem so happy, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Yes. I know. That tarp blew a little bit and you heard it, huh? Yeah. So, thanks for hanging out with me today, y'all. And I look forward to sharing the journey of the 5 goats and how they do. Y'all wouldn't mind praying for these guys that, you know, they stay healthy and they get healthier and they stay strong. Yes, I would appreciate it. Until next time, keep on the sunny side.